Have you ever thought about the word sin and thought, what does it actually mean? Well, sin literally means missing the target. It means missing God's perfect standard of holiness and righteousness. Only one man ever met God's perfect holy standard, and that was the God-man, Christ Jesus himself. He lived a perfect life and never sinned. Yes, temptation came its way, but he batted it off at every turn and managed to stay pure. He managed to stay holy. He managed to hit God's perfect standard of holiness and righteousness every time. But we fail. Every time we try and meet God's mark, we fail. A man tries his best to build a bridge to God, to get to heaven, to meet God's standard of righteousness. Man makes all kinds of religions and laws and new rules and regulations and traditions to try and follow in the hope that it will meet God's holy standard. And man tries to commit no sin. Man tries to be pure. Man tries to be holy. But it's so difficult because we're trapped in a sinful, fleshly body that sins at every turn. Have you ever tried to just go a day without committing a sin? Have you ever tried to go a day without thinking impure thoughts? How can we be holy? How can we possibly meet God's perfect standard of righteousness? The bad news is even just one sin is enough to exclude us from heaven. So we need to be perfect, just like God is perfect. But thankfully, Christ Jesus came into this world to die for us so that we can be perfect, because we can trust in his righteousness, so that we can hit God's target of holiness.